Hello, everyone, and welcome! It is Saturday afternoon, Saturday evening, starting just a minute early here, as we are getting going with the World Series for Death Valley and New York. Season 40 coming to a close here tonight, as these two juggernauts go head to head one more time here in the playoffs. With me tonight is Air Cou, joining once again. How's it going?
I'm fine. It's a great Saturday evening, almost morning here, but we're having fun.
Oh yeah, having fun. Had the Miners World Series. Chicago takes the Miners World Series earlier today. We've got the Majors World Series right now. And with that, we might as well just dive in here and take a look at our starting lineups for both Death Valley and New York, and then get game one underway. So let's go ahead and take a look here. For Death Valley, we have leading things off here Glady Verrero, followed by Max Power, Kuma, Rake Slammer at the DH spot, Rusty Salmon Arms, Jake Kulik Warren out in left field, all too well 10-minute version in right, Brandable Ostman, the GM, playing in center field, and Rake Hard starting at second, with Giuseppe Jones being your game one starter. Outside of New York, we've got J.R. Frankenstein leading things off in left field, followed by Belloc Cove, Rock Out with the Crocs out, and TGP. Squints Paladors, the catcher, batting fifth with Joey Moose. One of the very many Cove duplicates, James Dion and Franklin DeMars, rounding out the bottom of the lineup. And Evil Dictator, Enoch himself, starting game number one. New York against Death Valley. We start here in New York for the first two games. We'll move to Death Valley for the middle three, and then back to New York if we need more. Best of 7 series here for the Majors World Series. And with that, we're going to go ahead and get things going here. Cou, do you want to take Death Valley or New York?
I will let you choose.
All right, then I will go ahead and take Death Valley here. Leading things off in the World Series, Glady Verrero, first batter, up against Enoch, the GM, the starting pitcher, Evil Dictator. Let's get this game and this best of 7 series underway with our first pitch coming up. I need to go ahead and close BNN, but Glady Verrero leads things off with a 1-0 pitch deep to left center field, which will be caught for it out. And we're going to go ahead and close that up. And just continue. Max Power, home run derby winner earlier this season, will bloop that one to shortstop for an easy out. Kuma with a grounder to the pitcher. That's going to be an infield single, so runner on first here for Rake Slammer, who will wait as Kuma unfortunately gets caught stealing at second base. Death Valley running themselves out of the inning. We go bottom of the first here for New York.
Here we go with New York. J.R. Frankenstein is the first person to bat. It is a single. The ball falls a few feet in front of the left fielder. A stolen base attempt by Frankenstein is successful, followed by a strikeout by Cove. A swing and a miss by Crocs out. 2 quick outs here for Giuseppe Jones, followed by a flyout by TGP. They had a runner in scoring, stranded it. No, after one.
Rake Slammer to continue here for Death Valley, and the designated hitter is going to strike out swinging. It's going to bring up Rusty Salmon Arms, the catcher, hitting 119 in the playoffs right now, and that's going to actually drop into left field for a single. Runner on first here for Kulik Warren, who, little black back-to-back bloopers here. Runners on first and second for all too well 10-minute version. As a grounder to the third baseman is going to be a double play to end the inning. So 2 runners on get stranded by Death Valley. Still 0-0. We go bottom of the second.
Queens Paladors will start it off with New York with a hard crack at the bat, but it is caught by the right fielder. Joey Moose, the shortstop, will follow shortly with a flyout at the left center and a swing and a miss by FA Cove, the DH, or a quick 1-2-3.
Bring up GM himself, Brandon Ostman, who flies out to center field, currently hitting 405 after that at bat. Rake Hard, hitting 306, will fly out to right field, which will bring up Gladys Ferrero as a grounder to the first baseman. 3 up, 3 down. An easy inning there for Evil Dictator. Nothing through 3. We go bottom of the third.
James Dion, Franklin DeMars, and J.R. Frankenstero are due up for New York, with James Dion going back the dugout, shortly followed by Franklin DeMars with a groundout and a strikeout, respectively. J.R. Frankenstero will draw a walk by Giuseppe Jones, the first walk of the game, and strikeout number 5 for Jones as Belatskov is called, chasing a bad pitch.
Top of the fourth we go, and Max Power grounds out to the second baseman. Kuma is going to strike out. That's only the second strikeout there for Evil Dictator on this game so far. But we are only through 4 innings. Or I guess 3 2/3. Make that 4 now as they get the third strikeout of the day on Rake Slammer. Another 3 up, 3 down. Easy inning there for New York. We go bottom of the fourth.
Rocks out with your Rocks out. Checks the swing. He's called for a strike. It's out number 1 against New York. Bringing up TGP, who draws a walk. Last walk number 2 issued by Giuseppe Jones in the game here, as that one is a hit at the wall. It's right in front of the center fielder as TGP goes home all the way from first. Opening the score 1-0 New York with followers at second. Strike 3 against Joey Moose for out number 2, and another strikeout against FA Cove. Jones allowed a run and then 2 strikeouts, shut the door for New York to do more damage here.
New York with the lead there as Salmon Arms grounds out to the shortstop. Kolek Warren's going to get that one into the left field corner. Should go for extra bases and will do so with the double. Runner in scoring position here for All Too Well 10-minute version, who will strike out swinging. Brings up big hitter 405, hitting Brandon Elstman. And that's going to go up the middle into center field. They'll wave the runner around on third, and this game is tied at 1. With an RBI single, moving over to second is Ostman. We'll bring up Rake Hard, who grounds out to the second baseman to end this inning. 1-1 game. We go bottom of the fifth.
After the halfway mark of the game, it is tied. What a dive here by the right fielder to get this one. And another one. Back-to-back dives by the right fielder to get 2 outs, but the first baseman will miss that one. And there, Frankenstero has a double with 2 outs, followed by Belatskov having a single, but it is an RBI single, and New York is up again 2-1. Stolen base by Cove. It is safe. Rather than that one's high, it's deep, it should be gone, it is gone! A 2-run shot extends the New York lead to 369 feet, 93.8 miles per hour, the exit velocity of that one. It's a 2-run shot by Crocs out with your Crocs out, forcing the Scorps to go in their bullpen and bring in Aaron Beckett to replace Jones. TGP gets a single and then a steal but Paladors is called, struck out. New York up by 3.
Big inning there for New York. Death Valley wanting to retaliate here. We'll get a single from Gladys Ferrero, so a runner on first could be the start of a big inning. Max Power trying to get that ball down, but that'll be a fly out to right. Kuma will strike out swinging, so 2 outs in the inning here for Rake Slammer, hitting 312. And that is going to go deep to right. 99.4 off the bat as Rake Slammer makes this a 1-run game with 1 swing of the bat on the first pitch of his at-bat. 3-4 game right now for Death Valley. And Rusty Salmonard follows that one up with 1 deep to center field, but caught right at the wall, as that is going to be the end of the inning. 1-run lead for New York.
Both teams refuse to give up here. Joey Moose will ground out for out number 1. Swing and a miss by AuGold and Air Cou for out number 2 on the 2-2. 0-2 against James Dion, who keeps staring at the ball and is called out on straight strikes. Quick 1-2-3. DVS up to bat again.
Quick inning for the pitching there, so offense looking to do something here as Kulak Warren is going to strike out swinging. Bring up all too well 10-minute version, who will strike out as well. Brandon Ostman hitting .421 now with 2 homers in the postseason. Guess that one past the third baseman. They can't get Brandon Ostman out, as that's a double for Ostman. And Raycard is going to ground out to the shortstop. Wasted double there on the side of Death Valley, but maybe some signs that they can get some hits off of Evil Dictator and the pitching staff of New York. We go bottom of 7.
As we're heading to the 7th inning stretch here, we have a flyout by Franklin Demars, followed by a foul out against Frank and Sarah for quick 2 outs. But Velasco has one deep at the wall. It's a base hit. It is a double. But rocks out with your crocs out. We get called on strikes chasing a pitch. It's out number 3. New York down 2 innings left to play. New York up by 1.
In those 2 innings, Valero grounds out to the shortstop. Max Power. Oh, that. Oh wow! That only hit off the wall. That hit off the top of the wall. Power robbed of a homer by the dimensions of the ballpark, and Kuma grounds into a double play. I am shocked that was not reviewed or something. We go bottom of the 8th though.
Bottom of the 8th. New York is up by 1. They're looking for insurance runs, but TGP will strike out. Looking. Quintus Paladors will ground out. The second to first throw is good. Another second to first relay catches Joey Moose for a quick 1-2-3, and DVS are on their last 3 outs.
Last 3 outs indeed. Top of the 9th. Death Valley needs something to happen, and Rake Slammer is going to start that something with an easy double to right center field. Going to bring up Rusty Salmon Arms, and to note, maybe I shouldn't have said anything. That's going to be a bloop single to left. Runners on the corners. Was going to note, Evil Dictator is at 101 pitches as they pull him with 2 runners on here. Cap Penalty, the new reliever, in the 9th inning, gets a fly out to left field from Kulak Warren, but the runner tags and ties the game from third. Top of the 9th meltdown, unfortunately for the pitching staff here, as a walk to all too well 10-minute version. 426 hitting Ostman. They do get the strikeout. 2 runners on with 2 outs for Ray Card, as a fly ball with the runners moving to left field, and that will be the inning. Tied 4-4. We go bottom of the 9th. Can New York walk it off?
It's a World Series. It is tied. Garrett Scudder is in for DVS as AuGold will get caught at the wall. That's a base hit by James Dion. Let's see if New York can walk it off. The winning run is at first. Now it is at second after a successful stolen base attempt. Frank Demars has a fly ball. It's an out, but Dion will not advance. 1 on, 2 out, and a walk is issued by Scudder. 2 on for Cove, who has a base hit. Loading up the bases. The throw is not on time, and there's the win. It's the RBI single, and New York walks off game number 1.
Wow.
A close game with Crocs out, are batting the last run in. A walk, a late throw, and then a base hit. What a game, and New York takes the opener of the series.
Wow. Come back in the top of the 9th for Death Valley, only to lose it in a walk-off bases loaded single with, I think that was with 2 outs. But Crocs out gives New York the first win, an impressive win. Top of the order there for New York. 2 hits for Frank and Sarah, 3 for Cove, and 2 for Crocs out. Gonna be your big bats there for New York. Cap Penalty takes the blown save and then gets a win in relief after Evil Dictator goes 8 innings with 7 strikeouts, giving up those 4 earned. Scud takes the loss, their second of the postseason, giving up that 1 earned with 2 outs on the docket. But Rock out with Crocs out is going to be the player of the game. Wow. Talk about a first
What a game.
game. And we have at
If
minimum another three.
if
Wow.
all games go like that, I want to see 7 of this.
I know it's going to be a very fun matchup between these two teams. Again, these two juggernauts in the PBE, constantly good teams, constantly making the playoffs. Having them here in the World Series is something special. With that, we've got just a minute here as New York says no changes. Want to give a chance for Death Valley to put in any lineup or bullpen changes
New
that
York is,
they would want.
if it ain't broke, don't fix.
Yeah, I mean, you take the win. Why change things? That's a great strategy. See here if the
They
Scorps
did not
fall.
go that deep on the bullpen, so
It's true. It's true. I mean, realistically, that New York had just Evil Dictator go for 8 innings, and Death
no
Valley didn't
changes
really
from the
have.
Scorps.
And no changes from Scorps. They didn't really have too much either. Only 2 pitchers were used. Prediction up: who wins Game 2? Just straight up and down. We've got let's see. Lineups really aren't going to be much different here. Looking like actually New York is shuffling things around based on the fact that Post Scott is pitching
Hey,
here.
lefty.
They have James Dion now batting second instead of, I think it was eighth. Other than that, things look pretty similar.
Yeah, Belatko was second. Now Dion.
Mm-hmm.
Frank and Stereo, Crookside, and DGP are the same spots. The Mars at the same spot. Everyone from 4 to 7 went down 1 here.
Yeah, so yeah, you just move Gion up to the follow up into the second spot there. Um, Death Valley doesn't look any different to me. Still Osman in the number 8 spot, hitting like a bajillion. Ferrero leading things off. Raycard in the 9 spot. Pitching wise, Anthony Parco is going to be your starting pitcher for New York, going up against Poe Scott. With that, the prediction has had enough time to tick down. Looking very heavily towards New York here. One person put 500 points on Death Valley. Oh, never mind. There we go. There's 5.3 thousand points. With that, we're going to go ahead and get this game underway again. With Death Valley leading things off, Gladdy Ferrero up against Anthony Parco. Very, very similar start to this game as Ferrero is going to fly out deep to center field for the first out. Max Power gonna bloop that one into left. That's gonna actually land deep enough to be extra bases. Runner in scoring position already for Kuma. Ooh, a little wild pitch there, but keeps the runner at second. Kuma pops this one up in the infield. And Rake Slammer grounded to the shortstop and in time to get the out. Not much doing, just a double. We go bottom of the first.
Frank and Stereo, Dion, and Crooks out to start things off for New York here at game number 2. Oh, that was dropped by the first baseman, and it is a single on the arrow by Frank and Stereo, who gets caught trying to steal though. They get the out eventually. Dion gets a walk here. Stolen base attempt. Hey! Dion is at second. Crookshot swings and misses. The runner is still at second for TGP, who is laid on the string, and the side is retired with the game tied at 0.
Salmon Arms here leading things off for Death Valley. Strikes out to lead things off. Kulik Warren will strike out as well. 2 outs in the inning here for all too well 10-minute version. And back-to-back-to-back strikeouts. Anthony Parco with 3 strikeouts in just the top of the second inning. We go bottom of 2.
And let's go. We lead New York off, and it is a flyout to the left center, as that one is a relay throw from second to first against Paladurs, and Moose gets called looking. It's a quick 1, 2, 3 as New York goes down.
Very similar start to last game. Not a whole lot of offense in the early innings. Ostman's going to be called out on strikes in the top of the third. Ray Card drops a one into right field. So runner on first for Gladdy Varero, who's going to take a walk. Runner on first and second here for Max Power. Oh, as Max Power gets hit by the pitch, bases loaded with only one out. Kuma, grounder to the shortstop, and they'll get the out at first and concede the run. So Death Valley goes up 1-0 early in the game. Rake Slammer will ground out to the second baseman to end the inning, but Death Valley takes the lead. Can New York take it back? Going to the bottom of third.
Let's see here if New York has a response to the first run scored by DBS. As FA is called out at first on the ground out. An infield out against Franklin DeMars. And a ground out against J.R. Frank and Stero. Another 1-2-3 against New York. DBS up by 1.
Up by 1 indeed, going here to the top of the fourth. And Salmon Arms is going to get that one into center field for a single. Scorpions have come with a vengeance here in game 2. And Kolek Warren, oh, that's going to go over the head of the left fielder and all the way to the wall. They're going to rule it a double. Second and third here for All Too Well 10-minute version, as a diving third baseman cannot get that play. And that'll be a 2 RBI double for All Too Well 10-minute version. 3-0 right now for Death Valley. Oh, and under the glove of the shortstop off of Ostman. Runners on first and third with no outs as Ray Card flies this one out to left center field. They're not going to test the arm. They're already up 3. Varero strikes out swinging, so finally 2 outs in the inning. Max Power will fly out to right field. Death Valley puts another 2 runs on the board, up 3-0, going to the bottom of the fourth.
DBS extends their lead to 3, and New York is trying to respond, but James Dion is called out chasing a strike, chasing a ball, strike number 3. Strikeout looking against Roxout, either Roxout, last game's MVP. TGP on with 2 outs, is late on the swing, and it is another 1-3 against New York, the third in a row.
New York with not a lot of offense. Meanwhile, Death Valley leading things off here with another hit at the leadoff position of the inning, as Kuma is going to get a double. Slammer's going to strike out looking. All at the top of the zone there, as Kuma will steal third, put himself 90 feet from scoring. Salmon Arms will fly this one out to right field. And the score from third, they tag up and get the run. 4-0 now for Death Valley, as Kolek Warren with 2 outs will end the inning with a strikeout. Death Valley's got to be pretty happy. 4-run lead through 5. Have to see if New York can make any sort of offense as we go to the bottom of the fifth.
But what was that exactly? I think it's a doctor strike.
Yeah.
But Combs at second, and Palador has a it's a fly out. It was caught at the wall. As Cove advances to third, moves towards a walk, runners in the corners, swing and a miss by FA Cove for out number 2. A swing and a miss by Franklin DeMars, leaving 2 stranded with 1 in scoring position.
Top of 6 here, and another lead-off hit for Death Valley. All Too Well gets that one into right center field for a double. Osman strikes out. Runner on second here for Ray Card, who will also strike out. He's going to bring up Gladdy Varero. Grounder to the second baseman, and besides the lead-off double, nothing doing for Death Valley. We go bottom of the 6th.
New York here has to respond because they're running out of time. Frank and Sarah will ground out, followed by a James Dion ground out. A quick throw here by the third baseman. And another ground out. They all ground out, another 1-3 against New York. They're still held scoreless.
Top of the 7th, no leadoff hit this time, but Max Power will strike out. Kuma gets a single to right field, though. So another runner on here for Death Valley, as Kuma is going to easily steal second base. That's going to go up the middle from Rake Slammer into center field, and Kuma will easily score from second. Slammer goes to second on the throw. 5-run lead for Death Valley as Salmon Arms into center field over the center fielder's head all the way to the wall is an RBI double. 6-0 Death Valley taking advantage here of New York, it seems. Colic Warren will fly this one to shallow right field for the second out. And that's going to bring up all too well 10-minute version. Oh, and the right fielder misplayed it. Maybe it's going to be a bloop single to right as Ostman hitting .419 gets that one into left field for an RBI single. Death Valley with 3 runs in the inning. Rake hard. Fly ball to left center. Center fielders grabbed that one, and that's the end of the inning. But a 7-0 lead for Death Valley. 13 hits to 1. We go bottom of the 7th.
We're heading to the 7th inning. Oh, what a dive there by all too well 10-minute version. Followed by a Cove strikeout. And Palodor throws a walk by Jeffrey Lebowski. Here, their first of the game. As Moose grounds out. The throw from third to first is good, and it's out number 3.
Not a lot doing for New York here. Death Valley's going to lead things off with a Ferrero and a strikeout. Max Power takes a walk. Yet another inning with Death Valley having a runner on base. Kuma will ground into a double play. Finally, a quick inning for the Voyagers. Putting none up on the board for Death Valley. We go bottom of the 8th.
Sparks a comeback. That one is a fly ball by Cove. It is caught by the center fielder. And a ground out against Franklin DeMars. New York can't get anything going as Franklin Zero grounds out.
Silence from the Voyagers today, including the crowd, as Rake Slammer pops that one up in foul territory. Salmon Arms grounds out to the first baseman unassisted, and same thing from Colic Warren. So 3 outs to play. New York needs 7.
New York needs 2.1 runs per out. I don't think it's feasible. The first one is run by James Dion on a flyout. A strikeout against Crocs out with your Crocs out. And Ryan Stryker Jr. will seal this off with a strikeout against DGP. Death Valley got everything going on offense. New York got nothing going in offense. The 7-0 score is a depiction of the game, and we have a tied series heading to Death Valley.
That we do. Big Bat is going to be all too well 10-minute version, going 3 for 4 with the 2 RBIs on the day. Nearly everyone on the side of Death Valley getting a hit. Scott is going to take the win there in their start. 5 innings pitched with 9 strikeouts as Parker takes their first loss of the postseason. And Bo Scott's going to be player of the game. And Escape_V, thank you for the 66-person raid. Welcome in. We are in the World Series of our little community, our little league here. We just finished Game 2. It is now a 1-1 series as we head away from New York into Death Valley to see Game 3. We do have an off day. And I would imagine I'm going to be getting some pings here for potential stamina checks. Yep. Both teams instantly want a stamina check. So here we go. Bear with us, Raiders. We're going to be getting back to Game 3 here in just a moment. But really, we just want to do a quick stamina check for everyone, for our GMs who command these teams to decide if they want to change any lineups. Here's I don't know what New York's going to want to do with this, but there's that for you, New York. And for Death Valley, here's that. Bam. Vandal stamina check.
No, Scott, we cannot do that.
We can check the Toros though, I suppose. Yeah, so
We cannot do that.
welcome in everyone from Escape_V's stream. Uh, yeah, welcome to the PBE. I'm sure everyone in chat can tell you what exactly it is we do here, but we are going through the World Series here between Death Valley and New York. The Death Valley Scorpions taking game 2, and the New York Voyagers having taken game 1. Let's see. So Scorpions want to change Boris to more often. I will gladly do so. More often. Good there. And Enoch sent me a picture. New York. That penalty is stopper, 8th and close. Pete Williams, middle relief, normal usage. 82, middle relief, avoid high leverage. Rosas, middle relief, avoid high leverage. Normal, middle relief. Alrighty, there we go. Changes completed. All done for everyone. Punish streamers. Oh. With that said, let's go ahead and dive into game 3. Game 3, we do shift from New York. We have flown all the way from New York to Death Valley in the off day here as we get going for Xavier Crawford's start away up against Death Valley, as Johnny Tsunami II will be able to start at home. Lineups pretty much the exact same as what we just saw. GM's not making changes to their offense, only the pitching staff. We're going to have game 3 here, New York versus Death Valley. New York takes game 1 at home. Death Valley takes game 1 away. Or, sorry, game 2 away. Both teams with 1 win at the moment. Here we go with game 3. Nearly split 50-50 on the points predictions. 11,000 going the way of New York, 7,000, nearly 8,000 going the way of Death Valley for game 3 as we head to the Jose 43 Field of Superior Arrogance in Death Valley. Let's go ahead and dive in here with New York. JR Frankenstein up against Johnny Tsunami II. Leading things off. Here we go.
Here we go. Game number 3 here. The series is tied at 1. As that one is a flyout by JR Frankenstein, followed by another flyout, this time by James Dion for out number 2. That one is a ground out. Looks like the ball made contact with the crux out, with the bat string of crux out. And we
bottom of the first here with Gladdy Ferrero leading things off with a fly ball to center field. Max Power, also a fly ball to center field, different positions, but that's still just still recorded as an F8. And Kuma will strike out swinging, so 3 up, 3 down goes New York, 3 up, 3 down goes Death Valley. We go top of the second.
TGP, Cove, and Paladors are due up for New York, with TGP opening up with a ground out, swinging a miss by Cove, who is hot here for 15 this off season, dropping to 405, and the ground out by Paladorus, another 1-3 after 1.5 innings of play. 3 1-3s.
Bottom of the second here with Rake Slammer going to not slam this one as it's a fly out to left field. Salmon with a fly out to center field. So 2 fly balls here from Death Valley, and Kolek Warren gets the first hit of this game. And in fact, that is going to be a double to the right field corner. However, all too well 10-minute version with the runner on second will strike out swinging as we go to the top of the third. Where can you get a Max Power surgery? We have a store somewhere.
Moose gets a base hit. Both teams have a hit in the game. It's a single. Go bunt. Advancing Moose to second. It's a sack bunt. And that one is a drop, which is going to cost dearly as Moose goes from second to third. And then at home, after the first baseman bobbles the ball, putting the Mars at second, with 2 outs. And that's another base hit, this time by James Dion. It's another run, an RBI double, as Dion and the Mars swap places on the field. And that one is a fielder's choice at first and third. The shortstop chooses the first base, and it is strike number 3. New York puts 2 on the board, and they have an early lead.
Early lead for New York. Very different from last game, as Ostman is going to strike out looking there. Rakehard is going to bloop that one into right field, so runner on first for Gladdy Ferrero, hitting only 182, looking to get things going there with a single up the middle. Puts runners on first and second for Max Power, who will strike out swinging. Kuma. Ooh, little blopped, or a little drop strike there, and then Kuma will strike out swinging to end the inning, stranding 2 runners on. 2-run lead for New York as we head to the top of the 4th.
Top of the 4th, with DGB grounding out, followed by a Velasco ground out. And that's a base hit by Baladurs. Right past the second baseman's glove, it is a single. As Joey Moose has a base hit, it is another single, back-to-back singles by New York. Runners at first and second. But Moose will get called, trying to advance from first to second. It's out number 3.
It's the bottom of the 4th here, and a bobble, so an error from the second baseman allows Rake Slammer to reach first. Samurai will fly that one to right field. It's going to bring up Kulik Warren, who will strike out swinging. 2 outs and a runner on second for all too well 10-minute version. As deep to right field, and this game is tied.
Bye-bye.
One swing of the bat from all too well 10-minute version brings in 2 runs, 101.9 off the bat, going 410 feet. And we are tied at 2 runs apiece. Brandon Alsman hitting 422 in the postseason, flies out to center field to end the inning. But we start fresh, going to the top of the 5th, 2-2.
2 runs apiece, 4 hits apiece, 1 error apiece, as we are at the top of the 5th. 5th hit for New York. It is a single from the Mars, as Frankenstero will strike out swinging. James Diamond will draw a walk. There's 2 players on for Crux out, who's going to fly out. And the bases are loaded after DGB draws a walk. DGB, Dion, and the Mars. Cove has a base hit, scores 1, scores 2, scores 3. A base clearing double, scores 3 for New York, and it is now 5-2. Palador strikes out looking, leaving Cove stranded at second, but New York is up by 3 now.
3-run top of the 5th can definitely respond as Rakehard will strike out swinging. Gladdy Ferrero with a grounder to the second baseman, unable to handle it, so they'll rule that a single. Max Power will fly that to left field. 2 outs in the inning with Kuma coming up to the plate. So that's going to go into right field all the way to the wall. That should put a runner on second easily, and then that's going to score the run, actually, from first. There's 1 run back, and they say Kuma made it into third on the throw. As Rake Slammer gets one into right center field all the way to the wall as well. That will score Kuma 2 runs back already here in the bottom of the 5th. And Rusty Salmon Arms flies out to left field, and oh no! Bobbled by the left fielder! Oh no! Error on the left fielder allows Slammer to score from second. Oh my goodness, as Kulik Warren ends the inning, grounding out to the to the second baseman. Tied up again. We go top of the 6th.
A ridiculous game filled with hits, errors, walks, everything you want. As Moose strikes out, and a strikeout by Cove here. Quick 2 outs against New York. A hex swing strike against Franklin DeMars. It's out number 3, and DBS have the chance to lead the game for the first time.
Death Valley with a very interesting bottom of the 5th inning. We go bottom of the 6th now as All Too Well 10-minute version grounds out. But Brandon Ostman takes a walk, runner on first here. Ray Card will strike out swinging. Brings up Gladys Ferrero, who with a grounder to the second baseman will end the inning. Not much doing in the 6th inning in its totality. We go to the top of the 7th. Tied 5-5.
Top of the 7-3 innings left in the game, as their Frank and Sarah will ground out a swing and a miss by Diane. Proud to. Let's see if 2-out magic does exist. It does, as Crookside draws a walk. I don't know what that was, but Crash over it, followed by a check swing by TGP that is called and a strike. It's an out. New York goes back to the dugout.
Bottom of the 7th with Max Power leading off and a grounder to the second baseman. Kuma also grounds out to the second baseman. Rake Slammer also grounds out to the second baseman. 3 up, 3 down, and the second baseman busy in the 7th inning. We go top of the 8th. Still 5-5. 2 innings left for each team.
Velasco is the first of the 6 for New York. Goes down from shortstop to first. Paladors goes down to the center fielder who came almost all the way to the second. And Moose strikes out swinging. 3 chances stranded for New York. DVS has 6 left.
Chance for Death Valley here as Rusty Salmon Arms gets that one into right field. Runner on first. Potential for Death Valley to take the lead and to shut down New York in the top of the 9th. Kolek Warren strikes out swinging. All too well. Goodbye to right field. 106.9 off the bat. All too well with their second home run of this game to right field. Death Valley with a 7-5 lead. Brandon Ostman will follow up with a liner. Hot shot to center field, button out. And Ray Card will strike out looking. Death Valley's taking the lead. Chance here for New York to come back and tie it, but have to see in the top of the 9th.
3 chances for New York to score 2 and stay in the game. The first of them is wasted by FA goal, followed by Franklin DeMars flying out to the right. They're down to their last out, and it is caught by the right fielder. The game is over. DVS holds their field and takes a 2-1 lead.
2-1 lead indeed, as a late game push from Death Valley gives them the win. That push coming from All Too Well 10-minute version. 2 for 4 with 4 RBIs and 2 runs. Those 4 RBIs coming in clutch late in the game as Death Valley takes the win. Scud takes the win there in relief, going 3 innings of relief with 3 strikeouts. Penalty takes their first loss of the postseason, and All Too Well 10-minute version is going to be your player of the game, rightfully so, with 2 home runs. All right, we go back to the drawing board for both teams and see what they want. I'm going to save really quick.
Stamp check by New York.
Yeah, our file's been extremely volatile. I don't want to risk anything happening. Here you go. New York. Bam. Copy paste. See if Death Valley wants anything. Seems Death Valley might be good.
Enoch has a picture.
Oh, Enoch does have a picture. Stamp check. All right, let me do New York, and then I'll give you a
Stamp check
stamp
for Scorps.
Yeah. Middle relief, normal usage. Pete Williams goes non-specified, normal. Patey the second is middle relief, normal usage. Ross goes middle relief, avoid high leverage. Montgomery goes middle relief, normal usage, long relief. And I love Anchovy, long relief, avoid high leverage. Bam. York. Death Valley. Stamp check. Bam. Bam. Alrighty. Give Death Valley a quick second here. Two-one lead at the moment for Death Valley. So we are going to be heading into Game 4 here in just a moment. Once again, we are in Death Valley for Game 4. Could take a 3-1 lead as we will head back to New York potentially. Well, no, we will be going... Oh, we might not. I forgot that it's 3 games in Death Valley. So Game 2 in Death Valley. Game 4 of the series. No changes from Death Valley, which means we can get Game 4 underway. Second game at home for Death Valley. Same lineups, same everything. Same lineups, same tension, same starting pitchers, Evil Dictator and Giuseppe Jones. We've seen this all before, but it is now Game 4 for Death Valley. Here we go. Game 4 underway. J.R. Frankenstero to start against Giuseppe Jones.
Here we go in game number 4 as DBS look to extend their 2-1 lead here in the S40 World Series. As J.R. Frankenstero will ground out, followed by a Velasco single, walk, and then a stolen base attempt, followed by a double by Groxout, who scores Cove. It's a triple as Groxout extends it, and TGP has a homer. That's a non-doubter. 420 feet, 110.6 off the bat. It's 3-0 New York. Quick hits, and the Voyagers are up by 3. That's a base hit by Paladors. It is a double, followed by a base hit by Moose. Runners in the corners for FA Cove. Let's see what Cove has. Cove has nothing, but the runners remain at first and third for James Dion, who will strike out looking. New York up 3-0 after the opener.
Wow. Big inning to start for New York. Can Death Valley respond here at their home park as a strikeout from Glady Varero? It's going to bring up max power. Grounder to the second baseman, and Kuma will strike out looking. Death Valley with no response. Goes 3 up, 3 down. We go top of the second. 3-run lead for New York.
Top of the second, with New York up by 3, looking to extend their lead, as Franklin DeMars will ground out to the second baseman. Ground out to the shortstop by J.R. Frankenstero, and a walk by Cove. Stolen base attempt. Not in time. I was about to say stolen base attempt followed by a home run. But they got the runner out this time.
Bottom of the second here. Slammer's going to lead things off with a single to right center field. Salmon Arms, will they get the double play? They will turn the double play on a little slow grounder to third. And Kulik Warren will strike out looking. Death Valley with no answer so far. We go top of the third.
Roxard with your crop is now here to bat a quick fly out to the right, followed by a strikeout from TGP, bringing up Squints Paladoros up with 2 outs, and no one on as Paladoros flies out to the center fielder. 1-2-3, down go the Voyage.
Bottom of the third here. All too well 10-minute version pops that one up in foul territory for an out. Ostman, into right field. Now hitting 417. Okay, and he gets picked up first. And then Raycard will strike out swinging. Death Valley. Unfortunate. We go top of the fourth.
Ground out by Joey Moose. Strikeout looking for FEA Cove. And a walk drawn from James Dion. Stolen base attempt. Not in time as New York goes down 1-3 while maintaining their 3-run lead.
Vladdy Ferrero lead things off here for Death Valley with a hot shot under the glove of the first baseman. It's going to go down as a single. Max Power swinging out of his shoes will strike out swinging. Kuma grounded to the first baseman. They do not turn the double play. They'll get the out at second. Kuma will easily steal second, their 7th of the postseason. Rake Slammer gets the one into left center field. That's going to go to the wall, and Kuma will easily score from second on that play. Death Valley puts themselves on the board. Rusty Salmon Arms, the runner on second, goes yard.
Bye-bye.
107.5 off the bat, and this game is tied at 3. No doubt about it. 3-3 game with 2 outs here in the bottom of the fourth for Kulik Warren, who will strike out swinging. Feeling very familiar to the game a couple games ago. We go top of the fifth, tied 3-3.
Franklin DeMars will ground out as the pitcher goes all the way from the mound to the first, when the first baseman could have walked there. Frankenstein will ground out, and Cove will have one right above the head of the center fielder for 2 bags. As Crookshout has a base hit, it's a single, but Cove will score, and it is 4-3 New York. Swing and a miss by TGP, but New York have pulled ahead 4-3 after halfway through.
Death Valley down by 1 once again, as all too well 10-minute version is going to strike out swinging. Brandable Ostman, 1 out. To the second baseman for the second out of the inning, and Ray Card in the number 9 spot will ground out to the shortstop. Another new one for Death Valley, 3 up, 3 down, only that 3-run inning. We go top of the 6th.
Squints by the doors will strike out looking here as Moose strikes out swinging. 2 quick outs against New York. Bringing up gold hitter F.A. Cove, who swings and misses. Down in order goes New York, as the game is still 4-3 in favor of the Voyagers.
Bring up Vladdy Ferrero in the bottom of the 6th, and that's a grounder to the first baseman. Max Power fly out to right center, but the center fielder grabs that one, and Kuma grounds out to the shortstop. Another 3 up, 3 down for Death Valley. Really not much doing for Death Valley other than that 3-run bottom of the 4th. We go top of the 7th.
James Dion grounds out. The pitcher goes all the way to first. Franklin DeMars strikes out. Caught looking. 2 quick outs against New York. Let's hope it's not a 1-2-3. It is a 1-2-3 as Dear Frankenstein chases the pitch, but fails. 4-3 Voy Boys after 6.5.
We stretch here going to the bottom of the 7th, and Rake Slammer will lead things off with a grounder to the second baseman. Salmon Arms grounder to the third baseman, and Jake Kulik Warren fly ball to center field. 3 up, 3 down for Death Valley. Top of the 8th we go. 4-3 lead for New York.
Cove is at the plate, grounds out to the second baseman, followed by Crooks out swinging and missing. 2 outs, let's see if TGP has any magic. They do. It's a base hit for 2 bags. They will extend it. It's a triple. Oh, baby, a triple. EGP will go home, but Paladurs is blown out with a pop-up. And the half inning is over.
On the 8th here is 10-minute version grounds out to the shortstop. Ostman flies out to right and rake hard. Deep fly ball, well hit to right field, but not going to be enough to get out of here. Top of the 9th. Could this be the first game that an away team wins here in the World Series? Let's find out.
To correct you, DVS won game 2 7-0 in New York.
Oh, yeah.
As Joey Moose strikes out here. And the base hit by Cove. Let's see if New York can add any insurance runs. 1 on, 1 out. Swing and a miss by James Dion. That's a wild pitch, and Cove advances to second. As Dion will ground out. The score 4-3. DVS has the opportunity to walk it off.
I forgot that Death Valley won already away in game 2. Vladdy Ferrero leads things off well, so tying run is at first with a single to center field. Make the tying run be at second and the winning run at first. And Kuma! Goodbye. So long. We'll see you in game 5 as Death Valley, Vladdy Ferrero, Max Power, and Kuma walk it off. Home run fashion to right field. 6-4 win for the Scorpions.
A penalty went all the way. Struck out 14. And gives up a walk-off home run. You cannot script this. This is real baseball.
6-4 win for Death Valley at home. Big hit there late in the game. Where was it? It was Kuma. That 3 RBI homer in the bottom of the 9th. Probably going to be your big bat, but I think play of the game is going to go to one of the pitchers. We've got Stryker Jr. taking the win in relief for Death Valley. Cap penalty takes the loss. Evil Dictator, starting pitcher for New York, going another 8 innings, is going to be your player of the game. Unfortunately, bullpen unable to hold down the lead and gives it up late in the game. We go to game 5 now, and the stakes are high as Death Valley, with one more win, could send their fans home happy with a World Series victory. New York looking to stay alive with a game 5 game 5 victory to send themselves back to New York with a chance to win. Lineup versus left. Stero in left, James Dion in center, Rock out at third, Cove at second, TGP in right, Woodworth, Moose, Cove, and Mars. Why are there 2 Coves? Ugh. Gross.
There is only 2 in New York.
It's true, there's only
Try
2.
to have a look at the whole league. There's at least
like
11
7
of them.
Yeah, that's insane. Alright, and then pitching staff for New York. Williams is going to go to middle relief. Use more often. Haiti, middle relief, normal. Montgomery, middle relief, normal, long. Rosas, middle. Would I leverage? Yep. This is unspecified. Normal. Sweet. Good there. Alright, New York is good to go, unless they have last minute things for me. Scorpions have Clifton going to middle relief. Void high leverage. And you want. Oh, you're a jerk. 6 batters faced. Okay. There you go. Congratulations. Caleb.
I mean, you can't stop the Coves, good. You just banned the last name.
There we go. Exactly. Flipped Caleb.
I mean, where's Hummus? Where's Hummus? I want him to do something for me. I'll pay him off if I have to. Oh, I shouldn't have said it on stream. Sorry, guys.
You want Scott to be also 21 batters faced. Moving up from 18 to 21. Okay. Take out the batter's face and give 100. Okay. Fair enough. For Poe, take out the batter's face and put a pitch count of 100. There you go. Alrighty. See if there's any other last second changes, but we should be good there. Alrighty, we are good. Let's get on to game 5. Do or die for New York. Potential to end this early for the Scorpions. Same lineups, minor change. Belloc Cove is now hitting 4th and TGP is hitting 5th. We have Anthony Parco to lead things off as a starting pitcher for New York, and Poe Scott as a starting pitcher for Death Valley. With that, game 5. Death Valley wins. Death Valley fans and the players go home happy. New York wins. We go back to New York with a 3-2 series. Leading the way of Death Valley. Here we go. Do or die time for the Voyagers. Game 5. Here we go.
They are for against 0. We lead this off. It's New York's last chance in this World Series. If they lose this, they are out for the count. And they start off with back-to-back hits as Dion's at first. Frankenstein is at third with no outs. Groxout will fly out, but the sack fly will score there. Frankenstein. New York is up already, opening the score here as Dion will steal second. As Bella Cove draws a walk, runner at first and second for TGP, who will get a single, but Cove is called out at first, and a fielder choice for Guerrero, and it's out number 3 at second base.
Well, New York has shown life. They grab the early lead. They just need to now hold on to it as Guerrero grounds out to the shortstop. Max Power takes a walk over to first. Kuma, they will turn. No, they don't turn the double play. Gives Death Valley a chance here as Kuma will easily steal second, runner in scoring position for Rake Slammer. Don't need him to be in scoring position. Out of the park, homer for Rake Slammer. 101.2 off the bat, and Death Valley grabs the early lead right back. Now Death Valley needs to hold on to it. New York needs to be the one to come back as Salmon Arms takes a walk. The offense for Death Valley has shown up the last few games, and Kolek Warren grounds out to the catcher. We go top of the second. New York need to start the comeback now.
The comeback starts here for the Voyagers as Joey Moose has a base hit. And a walk drawn by F.I. Cove. Let's see if the Mars can do anything with that. Nope. Out number 2, strikes out looking. Bringing up a wild pitch that advances both runners. giving Frankenstero the chance to score. Moose on the sack hit. It's out number 2, but the game is tied at 2. Another wild pitch will move Effiego to third. As James Dyer has a base hit, it's an RBI single. New York is up by 2. In this game 5, with Dion trying to steal, save that save steal number 2 for Dion as Crookside gets beamed. There's 2 on. Let's see what Go has. Go has a fly out, and the side is retired.
A very long top of the second for New York, but they grabbed the lead back 3-2 now. All too well. 10-minute version's going to strike out swinging. Going to bring up Ostman, who will strike out looking. Rake hard with 2 outs in the inning, as that's a fly ball to center field, and 3 up, 3 down goes Death Valley. So New York hold on to the lead for half an inning. Probably want to expand on it with the way Death Valley's offense has been going, but we go top of the third.
So for the third, and it starts off with a homer. It's a no-doubter. 4-18 for TGP, who extends New York's lead by 2. 3 innings so far. New York has scored in all of them. A strikeout against Queens Paladors. It's out number 1 of the half inning against New York, bringing up Joey Moose, the shortstop, who has a base hit right along the left foul line. It is a sliding double. Already in scoring position, as Cove will draw a walk. Runners are at first and second for Demars, who has a base hit. Moose goes all the way home, as Cove remains at second and Demars gets a single. Run number 5 here for New York, who came in with a purpose as they load the bases up. For James Dion, who strikes out, it's out number 2, but they still have Crocs out, who has a fly ball that is caught by the right fielder. They leave 3 on, but they're up by 3.
Well, Death Valley's offense definitely needs to show up if they want to take this game here at home. Ferrero grounds out to the shortstop, but Power finally shows some of that home run derby power we saw earlier in the season, and here in the World Series belts a homer to left field, giving Death Valley only a 2-run deficit. Kuma is going to follow that up with a well-hit single to right field, so the tying run at the plate here in Rake Slammer, as Kuma will easily steal second. As Rake Slammer to right center field, that is going to actually drop down for a hit, and will go for a triple. RBI triple, and Death Valley crawls within 1. Salmon Arms is going to take a walk, so the double play is in order here. Could end the inning without a run, but Kolick Warren flies this one to left field. It will be caught. Too shallow to score the run, and all too well will strike out looking. Death Valley gets 2 more back, and boy, we already have 9 runs through 3 innings. We go top of the 4th.
DVS gets 2 runs back as New York is up at the plate, as Velasco has a triple. It was easier than it looked in the animation here, followed by a TGP swing and a miss. Palador swings and misses. That is out number 2. They have a runner at third, as Moose has a fly out. It's out number 3. New York doesn't score for their first half inning of the game, but they're still up by 1.
It's crazy. 4 innings in and finally don't score. Ostman leads things off. He is now hitting under 400, but that's going to be a strikeout to lead things off. Raycar is going to take a walk, tying run on first. Gladys Ferrero to lead things, or to follow things off here with a double play. Death Valley, not what you want to see. Exactly what you want for New York, though. We go top of the 5th, 5-4 game. There you go.
Sorry, got spaced out. Gove is called out as the Mars has a base, followed by a Frankenstero single, with the Mars extending from second to third. Stolen base attempt by Frankenstero is safe as James Dion has a base hit. It will load up the bases and get the Mars home. 6-4 New York with runners in the corners. 4 rocks out with your crocs out. Swing and a miss. We're out number 2. As Gold follows suit, looking for out number 3. New York still up this time by 2.
Valley needs some sort of offense if they want to take game 5 here, but Power's going to pop that one up to the pitcher. Kuma grounds out to the shortstop, and Rake Slammer with 2 outs also grounds out to the shortstop, so 3 balls did not leave the infield. Here in the bottom of the 5th, we go top of the 6th, 2-run lead for New York.
Slide number 1 against EGP. Strikeout looking by Squints Paladors here. 2 outs on New York, followed by a sliding catch by 10-minute version for a 1-2-3.
Salmon Arms leading things off here with a single to left field. There's your tying run now at the plate, as Cloak Warren gets the one into left field as well, tying run at first. All too well 10-minute version is going to strike out swinging. Ostman hitting .385. Best contact hitter right now for Death Valley. They're going to get the runner over to third, but that's going to be an out at second. Need a single to bring him home, and Ray Card unfortunately pops that one up to very shallow center field. They strand the 2 runners on base. We go top of the 7th. 6-4 game for New York.
3 innings left in this deciding game 5, with FA Go grounding out, followed by Franklin DeMars grounding out. As J. Frankenstero it is dropped by the first baseman. And it's not 1 base, it's 2 bases. Followed by a James Dion walk. It turns south pretty quickly for DVS, but they will cover everything up. Nice and tight here with a ground out at first baseman. At first.
Bottom of the 7th here, Gladdy Ferrer was going to strike out Swingin'. 1 out here in the inning for Max Power as they replace the starting pitcher. They put Johnny Patey version 2 with a 10.8 ERA in the postseason on the mound, and Max Power immediately gets a double off of him. Tying run at the plate now as Kuma flies out to center field. Going to bring up Rake Slammer. Grounder to the shortstop, and that ends the inning. Patey version 2 getting through. We go top of the 8th.
Top of the 8th, with New York steadily in the lead for the past 2.5 innings, as Velasco will strike out, followed by a TGP walk. Let's see if they can turn this one into runs. They start with a stolen base attempt, which is successful as Quince Paladors will fly out with TGP stuck at second. Swing and a miss by Moose will retire the side and leave TGP surrounded.
All right, we go bottom of the 8th. 2-run game still. Death Valley needing any sort of offense, but Salmon Arms is going to strike out swinging. I'll bring out Colic Warren as that fly ball to center field for an out. All too well 10-minute version, fly ball to center field, and 3 up, 3 down go Death Valley. Top of the 9th, do or die time for Death Valley, looking to extend the lead for New York.
Top of the 9th, as New York is looking for insurance runs to avoid another game 4 debacle. But FA Go will strike out swinging. Franklin DeMarch will draw a walk. As the second baseman does nothing, and Frankenstero gets a single, a ground out, not a ground out, it's a single, but Frankenstero is called out at second, and a strikeout. Looking against Roxard will retire the side.
Bottom of the order for Death Valley as Osman grounds out to the third baseman, Rake Hard. Deep fly ball left field, but no, caught by the center fielder. Vladdy Ferrero to right center field. That's going to drop just in front of the wall. He will easily take second. He will easily take third. Tying run at the plate in max power, and a fly ball to right field will end it. And folks, we are going to New York for Game 6 as New York takes a 6-4 win in Game 5. We continue. Through the playoffs here. As, New York takes a 6-4 win. Frankenstein goes 3 for 5 with an RBI and a run, as well as Dion going 3 hits as well. Pitching-wise, Williams gets a win. Patey version 2 gets the save and knocks that 10-something ERA down to 6. Scott takes a loss, giving up 5 earned through 2 1/3. James Dion's going to be the player of the game. Alrighty, let's go ahead and move along to Game 6 of 7. Both teams wanting stamina checks. So let's start with New York. Pitching. And Scorpions. There we go. Check out those Voy Boys and Scorps. Game 6 coming up here shortly. Same stakes. Death Valley could take the win here, end this game in 6. New York could take the win and send everyone on to Game 7. All depends on this game. And a complete shakeup of the... I'm in Death Valley. No wonder I don't understand any of the names I'm looking at. Complete shakeup of... Oh, what am I looking at? What's different here? Left, center, third, second, right. Yeah, that's already what I have for left-handed pitchers. Frank's Arrow, Dion, Crocs Out, Cove, TGP, Palidorus, Moose, Cove, Mars. Yeah. I don't know if you meant to paste a different picture, Enoch, but that's what I already have for your pitching or your lineup. There's another thing. All right, Williams goes to stopper, and Nathan Close. Cap penalty goes to middle relief. Normal. Romeo goes middle relief, avoid high leverage. Patey goes middle relief, avoid high leverage. Tucker goes long relief, normal and nothing. And I love Anchovy goes long relief and avoid high leverage. So Wheat. Alright, there is your bullpen. Bullpen's good to go. Lineup is good to go. There's no difference between that picture and the previous one, from what I could tell. Unless you meant for that to be right-handed pitchers, but I don't... That's you posted left-handed pitchers. You posted the same thing I already have. Nonetheless, I believe we are ready. Oh. Okay, lineup's good. All right, cool. All right, let us get on to Game 6. Death Valley still with the 1-game lead as we head into New York. Alrighty, so similar things here. Johnny Tsunami II up against Xavier Crawford. Gladiator Ferrero going to lead things off against Crawford. And Frankenstein will lead things off against Tsunami II in the bottom of the first. Let's get this first inning of this 6th game underway. 3-2 6-2 lead for the Scorpions. Scorpions take the win. World Series is over. New York takes the win. We go to Game 7. Let's find out right now as Ferrero lead things off up against Xavier Crawford. And that's going to lead things off with a at least double to right center field. And another triple in this series. Runner 90 feet. 90 feet from home as Power's going to strike out. Kuma will strike out as well. All right, Slammer just need to get a single, and will do so to right field, and Death Valley takes the 1-0 lead. Plenty of game to play still, but Death Valley with the lead is dangerous. Salmon Arms with a grounder up the middle will be a single. Runners on first and second for Kolek Warren as that goes deep. Left field. Could it go over the head of left fielder? No, it doesn't. Caught at the wall. 1-0 lead for Death Valley. New York's going to need to grind it out. Bottom of the first.
Swing and a miss by Dear Frank and Stero as they try to lead New York off, followed by James Dion, who has a ground out. The throw from the shortstop to the first baseman was in time. As Crocs out, flies out for a quick 1-2-3 as the Viets hold to their 1-run lead.
Scorpions hold on indeed, and now looking to maybe extend it as 10-minute version will strike out swinging. That'll bring up Ostman, hitting 370. It's a grounder to the first baseman there. Ray Card gets the one into center field for a single. Guerrero's going to take a walk, so runners on first and second for Max Power. And a bloop single to right that will maybe score the run from second. Safe is the call. 2-0 lead now for Death Valley. Bring up Kuma, who will take a walk. Bases loaded, 2 outs for hot hitting Rake Slammer. And a little dribbler to the second baseman will end the inning. 2-0 lead for Death Valley. New York needs to start with the offense now.
And that should be enough. No, it is not. It's got by the center fielder. It is out number 1. That's a pop-up. It's caught in foul territory by the catcher. And a fly ball by Paladers is caught by the center fielder. Back-to-back 1-2-3 innings for New York. 2-0 DVS.
Salmon Arms is going to lead things off here in the top of the third with a strikeout. 1 out in the inning here for Kolek Warren, hitting 161. That's going to be a strikeout as well. 2 quick outs and all too well 10-minute version. We'll ground that one back to Crawford. Pitcher gets through 3 innings. We go bottom of the third, 2-0.
Joey Moose has a base hit to break the chain of outs for New York. A bunt by Cove is an out, but it will help Moose advance as the Mars has a base hit, advancing Moose to third, runners in the corners. It's a double play. Moose will score, but it is a ground out into a double play, a 4-6-3 by Frank and Stero, and it will defy the run.
As Ostman will lead things off here in the top of the fourth with a strikeout. Break hard. Oh, that's going to be, they say, error on the throw by the second baseman. So that puts Break hard on second. And then a wild pitch puts Hard on third. Ferrero flies that one deep to left field. And it's deep enough to score the run from third. Death Valley takes a 3-0 lead. Max Power, gets that one into right field for a single. On first for Kuma. Bloop to right center as that somehow goes down as a double. And Max Power scores from first. 4-0 for Death Valley. Rake Slammer to center field will be an out. And Death Valley has taken charge here in the fourth inning. We go bottom of the fourth, 4-0 game.
Bottom of the fourth with James Dion strike grounding out, and another ground out by Roxalt with your Crocs out, followed by a fly out by Belasco. Fourth third 1-2-3 in 4 half innings for New York. They are down by 4.
Salmon Arms with a fly ball to left field. 1 out in the inning. Kolek Warren strikes out swinging. 2 outs will bring up 10-minute version as... Oh, that was. There was something weird that happened there. 10-minute version gets the one into right center field for a double. Ostman, gets the one into left field. Could that be an RBI? And it is. 5-0 for Death Valley here through 5 innings. Ray Carr with a runner on first. Up the middle. Ostman's going to stay at second. Ferrero will strike out swinging, stranding 2 runners on, but with the bullpen coming in, Romeo Ross has given up 1 earned. It's 5-0 for Death Valley.
EGP will try to jumpstart an offense for New York. A ground out followed by a ground out by Paladors and another one by Joey Moose. Nothing's going right for the New York offense here. As it's 5-0 DBS after 5.
Nothing going right indeed. Everything going the way of Death Valley with a fly ball to center field for Max Power for the first out. Kuma pops this one up, and second baseman will grab that one. Rake Slammer grounds out to the second baseman. 3 up, 3 down go Death Valley. We go bottom of the 6th, still 5-0.
Both the Mars and Frankenstero drew up, with F.I. Cove drawing a walk. That is a double play, 5-4-3. For 2 outs here as Frankenstero follows suit. The Scores face the minimum. Even though they allowed a runner, they're still up 5-0.
Salmon Arms takes a walk to lead things off in the top of the 7th. Kolek Warren extends the Death Valley lead to 7. The 3rd home run for Kolek Warren here in the postseason. 101.9 off the bat, and you can only imagine morale in the New York locker room right now is not great. 10-minute version will ground out to the third baseman. Ostman flies out to right. 2 outs in the inning here for Ray Card. And that will be a grounder to the first baseman. We go bottom of the 7th here. 7-0 for Death Valley late in this game.
Bottom of the 7th, let's see if New York can do something here as James Dion draws a walk. Crowsat will draw another walk as Bennett issues back-to-back walks. A swing and a miss against Cove. A swing and a miss against DGP. 2 on, 2 out. A swing and a miss by Paladors. 3 strikeouts right after 2 walks for Beckett. And New York is still held scoreless after 7.
Seemed like that was almost New York's best chance to score, and they strand the runners on. Here in Death Valley, top of the 8th, Ferrero and Max Power strike out swinging. Kuma takes a walk, runner on first for Rake Slammer. And Kuma will get picked off at first. We'll pick up with Rake Slammer here in the top of the 9th, but we go bottom of the 8th first.
Bottom of the 8th, and New York has a base hit by Joey Moose. It's a double. Nope, it's a triple. Second triple of the game. And it will score a runner as Cove has a sac hit. Swing and a miss by the Mars. It's out number 2. Let's see if New York can pull even closer with some 2-out magic. Sarah Frankenstero draws a walk. A swing and a miss by Dion. We have the side retired with a score at 7-1. DVS creep closer to the title.
Voyagers 7-1. They do get a run finally, but Rake Slammer pops this one up. Salmon Arms will strike out swinging. That'll bring up Kolek Warren, who had a big 2-run homer last time at bat. And a diving play by Frankenstero. That may save something. We'll have to find out. 3 outs to play. Bottom of the 9th for New York.
3 outs for 6 runs from New York. Now it's 2 runs for 6 runs. after a sliding catch. That's a base hit. Cole has one, has two bags, has three bags. What's
Triples.
going on with the triples this game? Swing and a miss by TGP. They need some two-out magic, but they don't have it. Paludors will strike out, and DVS will clinch the World Series 4 games to 2 after another dominant performance. 7 runs to 1 is your final score, 11 hits to 4, and Death Valley is your season 40 champions.
Everyone on Death Valley getting in on the offense here with at least a single hit. Kalukwaran with a big homer. Probably going to be your player of the game, if not for the fact that Johnny Tsunami II goes 5 2/3, giving up no earned. Beckett and Scud coming in for relief there. Crawford takes a loss, unfortunately, giving up 2 earned in 3 2/3 of an inning. And that was all Death Valley needed. As Johnny Tsunami II takes player of the game. Take a quick look here at the playoff coverage and see Rake Slammer is going to be your series MVP for Death Valley, going 360 on the batting average. Does not take a walk, but 800 slugging. 2 homers with 9 RBIs, 9 hits on 25 at-bats for Rake Slammer, being your series MVP. Oof. Death Valley takes another World Series win. And yeah. That's really all I have to say. Death Valley takes the win.
And if I've done my math correctly, I'm getting 7 from the playoff TP task.
Very nice. I think I had New York winning. I don't remember if I had Death Valley going to the World Series. I think I had the Sloths. I just everything's bad for me.
I've had OBX over New York, else I'll have a perfect bracket. Which probably means I may have a good shot at the Tahini.
Very true. That's very true. The Tahini coming up sometime next week. Should be interesting. Hummus always streaming that is always interesting when it comes around that time. I don't really have much to say. Death Valley wins. Death Valley takes another World Series. It's their, 4th or 5th since I joined the league in season 16. Dominant franchise. Fortunate for New York. It's just how the cookie crumbles. Well, folks, as you know, now is the time. For those interested and sticking around through the upload process, or where is it? There it is. Ask the booth. I forgot I made it an animation. My goodness. Oh boy. Season 40 comes through a close. Start season 41 in a couple weeks for spring training. Do it all again.
And as the season is drawing to a close, remember that the championship task is due tomorrow. So do it. That NTP is good.
Yes.
Trust me.
Yep. For those that do not have your CW pass, make sure to get that done. 10 TPE is amazing. Why will Toronto? Who's Toronto? Did someone what? Did someone change team names? Who's Toronto? Fake name.
You don't know?
No idea.
Wait, what?
No idea.
How?
I have been extremely busy. Oh, Maui switched to. You guys are Toronto now? Jeez. I really need to catch up on league stuff. Wow. All right. Why will Toronto win the title next? Honestly, you guys have a really young squad. If I remember correctly, you guys made it to the playoffs this year. Build off of that, and
let's not say how we did it. Just say that we did.
It's true. I think you guys could easily make another run for it. Just need to keep the team together, keep earning, and you guys can make a easy run for it. Could be fun to watch. That's the booth. Way too early prediction for next year's champion. I'm gonna go on a limb and say Toronto now because that's who's on my mind.
Yeah. Save it, dude. We don't want that. Fair weather fans. We don't want them.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
I'm kidding. If we win a World Series, I'll throw a party.
Yeah. Oh, I would imagine. It's a good feeling. It's fun. It's rare, but it's fun. Let's see. Since I'm Vandal's GM and I want a
Nah,
World
Lumo.
Series,
It's AuGold saying that.
no,
It's AuGold, not AJ. AJ is the Jinx man here.
it's
The
true.
Chaos mod.
It's very true. I am not AJ at the very least. AJ's Chaos mod. AJ has the Chaos mod. I just get my teams usually lose when I'm on stream, so I'm just here. Why does OBX? Why did OBX not make the playoff? Why did OBX not make the World Series? Because we lost. We lost in the playoff. It's. I mean, I don't know. It's that easy. Toronto Pathfinders. That's a good team name. Which was first, the chicken or the egg? No, neither of them. Max Power S40 MVP or Home Run Derby three-peat? I don't know. It'd be interesting to see him do a three-peat on the Home Run Derby, but I don't know about MVP. I don't know what everyone's at for leaderboards. No, wrong button. Batting register there. Don't. Did I click on the wrong side? I thought this was. I may have clicked on the wrong league. Champions. I wanted. Ooh, Max Power does have a case. He's at 6.1 war, and so is Beef Fry. Max Power has a case. Very good OPS. Very good average. When did time begin? When the clock, obviously when the clock started. Where else would it begin? It can't. Time can't start when the clock stops.
Time began before we even invented clocks.
That is very true.
Sorry to spoil the fun, but
that is very true. Time has existed for a long time.
People could track the phases of the day and the phases of the year without having clocks or calendars.
It's very true. Very true.
I mean, the 24-hour day is a convention.
Also
so is the year, so is everything.
Also very true. So when did time begin? Forever ago. Before everything. There was time, I think.
Yeah.
Or was there not time? That I would assume there's time.
I mean, if you look at it philosophically, the universe existed way before Earth was created by something.
Correct. Attica. Time is just a word, and I can't read, so time is not real. That's really funny. Oh.
Or as a thought go when it is forgotten.
Into the ether. The nothingness. The nowhere. And everywhere all at the same time. I answered that, but I forgot.
We don't. I don't think we forget things. I think we just ignore them and push them to the side.
No, that makes sense. At the end of the day, your brain, it's somewhere in all of the little firing electricity wires is the thing you were thinking about. So it has to be in there still somewhere, whether you are actively thinking about it or not. It just, I don't know, it just becomes.
I mean, right now I'm thinking about the chicken I have in the freezer that I'm going to grab and eat right after. But uh, a moment ago, I may have been thinking about something else,
Mm-hmm.
which I can't remember what it was because it wasn't important, and I pushed it to the side.
Mm-hmm. I got a nicely seasoned steak that I'm gonna end up making here. It's gonna be delicious.
Um, then if you say if you have ADHD, then your brain is just wired differently. It's just that your brain functions differently than a neurotypical person.
What would a room made of mirrors look like if there's nothing inside that room to create a reflection? I mean, it would just look like a room of mirrors. I don't think anything being present in the room changes the fact that there's still a room made of mirrors. It would just be mirrors endlessly. Okay, actually, darkness is a good point too. There'd be no light for there to
It
be
depends.
the
We cannot
room.
say darkness. We cannot say darkness because if there's a light bulb in the room, then there is something in the room. The only way for darkness to exist is for the room to be completely just the mirrors, no windows, no light bulbs, nothing.
Schrodinger's mirrors. I don't know. Nasbase is just bringing out all the philosophical questions. Best ask the booth ever. Philosophy with AuGold and Air Cou.
I had an A plus on philosophy in high school.
There you go. Nice.
Um, Captain, I'm pretty sure that the question for that is straightforward.
I just don't think we can say that here. If you're confused,
There's a video out there, there's a
Google it.
TikTok of a child that perfectly sums it up with with two words, a clap, and then saying babies, which is one of the best videos.
Fantastic. I'll have to look that up.
The favorite call.
Jeez. Favorite call? I
I have
wish I
two.
knew. I wish I knew off the top of my head.
I have definitely one, and it is the San Antonio no hitter earlier this season.
Oh, very nice. That is a good call.
I mean, I was not doing the calling the play by play, but just being there, oh, it's a no hitter. It just adds up to the call, and I remember that moment. And the walk off earlier today,
Fair.
but that's fresh, so I'm
Yeah.
cheating.
I say that 2 run, that home run walk. Or no, it's but yeah. That's what you're talking about. Gosh, I mean, I've said it over and over. The one that sticks in my head, whether it was my favorite or not, was my second or third season being a streamer. I was streaming the Boise and Death Valley Game 7 World Series.
Oh,
2 outs, bottom of the ninth. Death Valley is ahead by one. get the strike three call, but it's a drop third strike, so the runner reaches first, only to follow up with the next batter for Boise hits the home run that walks it off. Boise wins the World Series in 7 over Death Valley. That's the one I
Damn,
always remember, and I always talk about it. But
that's a heartbreaker to watch
it is a I always,
if you're one of the players.
it always a heartbreaker to watch. It's just like I thought it was the World Series PM, but maybe it was just a playoff game. Um, but yeah, I remember it being Game 7. But yeah, it was just like, oh, cool, Death Valley's gonna win game. Never mind. And Boise wins and moves on. It's rough to be on this side of the booth when that happens, especially when it's your team that it's happening to. It's just like, ugh, it's cool to see, but it's like, oof. That's just I've talked about that exact call now for like 10 years in a row. And does Jay coming back give you nightmares? No. I've just talked about that call a bunch, and it just sticks out in my head. Other than that, there's been a couple of inside the park home runs that are really fun to call. Um, this spring training, we actually had a no hitter in spring training. It was a combined no hitter between the starter and the relievers. That was my first ever no hitter on stream that I got to call, and that was a lot of fun. I know exactly the link you're linking to, and is our most watched short that has been clipped on our channel.
I
I
want to say,
I did not set the triple slider to 1.2. I have no idea why we got like 9. Oh, we got so many sliders. Or so many triples. I don't know why it's sliders. I don't think it was game 1. I'm pretty sure it was game 7. Yeah, no, me too, Mike. That is, I think we saw like 10 triples tonight between these two teams. It was insane. Oh, gotcha. Yes, for the spring training. I think that was legitimately, yeah, the first call of S40 during the spring training. Yeah, I think it was that first game. This has been the fastest my file has uploaded anything. I think it's because there's only 6 games for it to upload instead of usually 50 or whatever we do in a stream. That's the booth. Will the post series interview ever come back? I don't know. Those are always fun. They're interesting for sure, but it needs to be like the GMs who want to do that because they have to be in this specific Discord server. Um, and it really just boils down to if the GMs want to do it and are around and awake.
also means that we need to have questions ready that are not your typical, oh, your team just won the World Series. How do you feel?
Yeah. and invite me on stream. Person, man, you're supposed to be asleep, dude. It's like 3 in the morning. Go to bed.
It is 2:48 in the morning. Excuse you.
Go to bed.
No.
Yes.
No. Okay, in like 10 minutes, I'll go to bed.
Okay.
I'm just enjoying the dark because we don't get much of that here.
Oh, right. Yeah, you guys get a lot of sunlight right now.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. Go to bed.
I don't know. I came on here for the interview.
Oh, okay.
All right, guys. We got the Death Valley Scorpions GM here, person man, after their millionth World Series win. How do you feel having won so many rings?
Pretty good. This is our first one in almost 10 seasons. I think our last one was season 31. So, for us, it definitely feels like a long time coming. But yeah, just really proud of everyone on the team. They've put a lot of effort in, just getting their updates in. I think we've been towards the top in the league of like just number of updates per week. So it's been really great to see, and I think that we still got a lot left in the tank. To hopefully make some more runs in the near future. And yes, thank you to Scud for trading his corpse to us. He did really, really well this season for us. Thank you to Legion of Slugs for finishing out his career with Death Valley. He also pitched very, very well, and it is really, really nice to see him kind of get back into the league while being on the team. It's always a really great thing as a GM to see your players enjoy themselves. And yeah, we're all very happy. We had a VC in the locker room, so a lot of us very excited. Yeah, go Scorpions.
You won your last one 9 seasons ago, and then you had 4 strong seasons, followed by a rebuild that only lasted basically 3 seasons before you got back to a winning season and the playoffs.
Insane. 3
What
seasons.
was the process there that got you to a World Series win so fast?
So I do think that it's important to note that yes, on paper our rebuild was 3 seasons, but we got really lucky in the season before we missed the playoffs because we finished above Nashville in that season, who really should have got the 4th spot from us. We just got really, really lucky in the sim, so that was helpful. And then our first season back in the playoffs was also really, really close. So 3 missed playoff seasons on paper, but it really could have been a 5-season rebuild. But we did that basically just by having young players ready at the right time, which basically all of this has kind of just gone to play on, and then being able to adapt when when for us when B Fry opted out and went to go sign with Nashville, and he's had a great career with Nashville. When when Reno's player retired, for us, we just had to kind of find ways to adapt to those. And as I said before, that bringing on Aaron Beckett was a really huge part of why we've been successful. Losing him and Scud is going to be tough, but yeah, just having young players pretty much at all times really helps.
The team was led by, offensively at least, by Max Power. Do you think he's the MVP?
This season, I would definitely vote him. Kind of probably 1 or 2 for MVP this season. 40 home runs is not an easy task, and he's one of a select few that have gotten to that mark. Plus, he was just an offensive powerhouse this season. Pretty much as good of a season as you could ever hope for a first baseman. So yeah, I think at the very least he'll be towards the top. It just kind of depends on how voters feel about voting for a first baseman.
All right.
All
Well,
right. I mean, Power is in a great company at the season home runs with O'Sullivan, Pluto, Shu, and Woofington being the other four with at least 40 home runs. I think that's a feat on its own that should get him the MVP. Um,
well, with that,
how?
not to cut off
Yeah,
the
I'll go.
interview
Yeah.
here because this is interesting.
Good, good.
Our file is uploaded and we are good to go here. So just kind of one more quick congratulations to Death Valley for one more World Series added on to the belt. Any last little things here, Person Man, before we head into season 41?
If you haven't yet, go to announcements and find the last thing I posted to fill out the form. If anyone's interested in doing IRL events, I think we're at like 35-ish responses, but we could definitely use more to see what the interest is like, just to be able to kind of see kind of what regions we may be able to plan something this summer. So if you're interested in meeting up with other PBE and other Sim League people in real life, for dinner or for a sporting event or something, go find the form in the announcement section and fill it out for us. And also, I don't know, good luck to all the teams next season.
All right. Any last things from you, crew, before we head into season 41?
I have nothing to say except that it was a great season and it felt good to be back here co-hosting. I think I did what 4 or 5 this season.
Yeah,
It
you did.
felt great to be back at this.
Yeah, you did quite a bit. It's great having you here. So, last words from me. Everyone have a wonderful off season. We'll hopefully see you back for season 41. Again, don't forget to do your champ week tasks. It's 10 TPE straight into your player. It can be helpful. Have a wonderful off season, everyone, and see you in season 41.